Hello everybody, my name is Too Uninspired to Make Videos, and man, I haven't been in a video like this where I sit in my chair in my room in a while. But anyway, welcome to a video that might seem a little bit out of the ordinary in terms of what I post on this channel. And I know what you're thinking, Kev, it's been over half a year since you posted your last Pink Floyd review. Where are the final two reviews? Well, like I said in my first sentence, I've been really uninspired to make those videos, but I have done a few other videos on the channel that aren't Pink Floyd reviews. So those videos are coming, I promise. As I said, I haven't been inspired to make them. So as I said, they'll come soon in the future. Anyways, as you can tell from the title of the video, on the 14th of July 2022, I went to see legendary hard rock act Kiss in Budapest, and well, it was pretty crazy. I can tell you. So first of all, the thing is that I've been listening to, like, over the past year and a half, I've been listening to an insane amount of classic hard rock and heavy metal and just rock in general. So yeah, I am a pretty big fan of Kiss, I might say. I even like a bunch of the stuff that they did, like, I don't know, in the 80s or so, that people don't really enjoy. I mean, most critics, like in newspapers and everything, didn't really like Kiss to begin with. So it's like, but I do like some of their material that wasn't that well received like other albums were. But you know, I haven't heard every single album of theirs, but uh. Like I said, I am a pretty freaking big fan of them, and you know, as I said, I've been listening to a crazy amount of like classic hard rock and heavy metal, like, you know, Deep Purple and Scorpions and Iron Maiden and Judas Priest, and a lot of it, just a lot of freaking classic rock music. And I've also been pretty productive with concerts as well. At the end of May, I went to go see the Scorpions, which was absolutely amazing, and in June, I went to see Iron Maiden, with Shinedown opening up for them, and also another band whom I missed, but whatever. So the thing is that for these concerts, for all these three concerts that I just said, you know, Scorpions, Iron Maiden, and Kiss, for all of these, we got tickets on the last day, and it wasn't like on official ticket buying platforms or anything. It was from like you know, a place where people sell their tickets when they can't go to concerts. The place is called Ticket Swap, and we either bought tickets from that website or we found people on Facebook who wanted to sell their tickets for not that much, not that much amount of money. So yeah, all of these three concerts were like, you know, last day, last minute, you know, concert tickets that we got, and it was kind of annoying. But and let's hope we'll never have one of those experiences again. But we probably will. So yeah, the concert was, I mean, it was very strange. The opening act for Kiss was a rock band called Dirty Honey, who are actually really freaking good. Like, they're pretty underrated. They have built up a following, but I still think they're pretty underrated. They've got an EP and like an 8-song album and a couple of loose singles. But like, you know, it's kind of weird nowadays that bands release albums that are only like 8 songs long or something and like half an hour, because that's not really an album. It's also more like an EP. It's like an extended EP or something. But yeah, Dirty Honey are actually really freaking good. They play a lot of like, you know, maybe people don't like them because, you know, maybe they think that the band is actually generic or something. But even if it's generic to you, it still sounds pretty good to me. The band sounds pretty great. They're, as I said, they were the opening act, and I've listened to their music. As I said, they're really good. They were the opening act, but unfortunately, I missed them at first. You know, they began at like 8 p.m. And, you know, I missed the majority of their set, and I only caught them during their last 3 songs, which were still pretty great, and I still really like the band. But they only played for like 25 minutes or something. But the crowd really loved them. The people there who saw them really liked the band, and I'm pretty happy for because of that. Because when I went to see Iron Maiden, and you know, Shinedown was their opening act, and another band, as I said, that I missed. But Shinedown was Iron Maiden's opening act, and you know, I've seen like pretty mixed opinions on Shinedown and their music and everything. But when I went to see them, they were really freaking good. They were about as good as Iron Maiden, dare I say it. Because, you know, like, you know, people were there to see Iron Maiden. Obviously, they weren't there to see some modern, like, you know, harder pop rock band, you know, like hard hitting pop rock, I might say. That's what I would call Shinedown. But the band was incredibly energetic, but like very few people really liked the band in that crowd, because, you know, when they ended songs, we just give, you know, mild applause to them. You know, we liked them, but like, I was one of the only people in the audience who really loved Shinedown, especially that set, and they played like 11 songs for like 45 minutes, and I really did love them. There was like a group of other girls who really liked the band as well, and yeah, when, like, you know, the lead singer told like everyone in the stands who were sitting to stand up, basically almost nobody stood up because they wanted to see Maiden, for Christ's sakes. They did not deserve the way they were treated by that Iron Maiden crowd. But yeah, I loved Shinedown when they were opening up. But Dirty Honey, while they played way less songs and for way less time, maybe they played a bunch of songs, actually like 8, I don't know. But as I said, I only caught them for their last 3 songs. But you know, they Dirty Honey, like, you know, play the kind of music that like Kiss does, or some other classic rock and hard rock acts, you know, and the crowd really loved them. They were very appreciative of them, and they liked them a lot. And as I said, that really made me happy. Also, before the Kiss concert happened, you know, when they were like setting up everything and dropping down the curtain so nothing on the stage can be seen, they played, like, you know, the sort of, you know, classic rock that they played before shows. And one of the songs that they played was an Ed Sheeran song, but it was the song "Blow" with Chris Stapleton and Bruno Mars. You know, that big hard rocker that I absolutely love. It was kind of like, you know, Kiss were all about that hard rock and roll style, and it's like, it was kind of weird to see them play Ed Sheeran, but then again, that's the only like real hard rock song Ed Sheeran has ever done. But enough prelude. Might as well get into the concert. So the concert from Kiss was jaw-droppingly good. Like, you know, many people might say that, but for this concert, it really does feel like they gave it their all. And Hungary is a bit of a special place for some of the Kiss members. I mean, Paul Stanley said that his grandfather used to live in Hungary, and Gene Simmons' parents are literally Jewish immigrants from Hungary. So there's that. And, you know, Gene Simmons spoke a bunch of Hungarian throughout the show. I'll get to that in a bit. And, you know, Paul Stanley was like a really good frontman on this show as well. But I think the most underrated musician of the entire show was Tommy Thayer. You know, he was, you know, playing all these guitar solos left and right, and it was just absolutely intense the way he played guitar. And Eric Singer was also pretty underrated. The way he played drums was, obviously, it wasn't like Peter Criss, you know, or Eric Carr, but he is still very much a great drummer whom I absolutely respect. Now, you know, once the introduction voice, you know, introduced the band with, you know, the typical, you know, all right, Budapest, you wanted the best, you got the best, the hardest band in the world, Kiss. The band started to play Detroit Rock City, and you know, there was like a bunch of like wild partying people at the side who had a bunch of popcorn, and they were like throwing it into the air, and there was even some, you know, drink. A bit of it landed on my feet, on my shirt, and even on my hair. So, great freaking start already. But, you know, they launched into Detroit Rock City, the curtain dropped, there were a whole bunch of loud explosions and everything, and, you know, Gene and Paul and Tommy came down from the top, and Detroit Rock City is obviously the best choice for a show opener. I mean, it was the fastest song of the night, and it was obviously just absolutely glorious, and we were all just jumping around and dancing around, and it was amazing. And, you know, Tommy Thayer, he was like, I was at like the very right of the stage where Tommy Thayer was usually standing, so I got to see him right before me. I was standing very close to the front of the stage, and I got to see Tommy Thayer just, you know, doing all these intense solos, which I really liked. And during the show, it was like, you know, Tommy and even Paul and Gene looked at me a few times, so that was pretty nice, honestly. And I continually like showed support for them and yelled at them that I loved them and everything, especially Tommy. But, you know, after Detroit Rock City, they launched into Shout It Out Loud, which was pretty nice as well. And, you know, this show was basically just, for Tommy, it was like guitar solo hell or something. Like the entire show, it was just guitar solo after guitar solo after guitar solo on nearly every single track. And I was like, yeah, this basically never ends for him. And let's hope it doesn't. Because, you know, he was, I think, the best musician of the night, easily. So yeah, a bunch of guitar solos from Tommy that I absolutely love. and then they launched into Deuce, which is, you know, one of my favorites from the debut album. And that was absolutely amazing. Again, Tommy's guitar solos were absolutely the best part of the song. And then they launched into the Hard Rock and War Machine, which was once again pretty great, and it was pretty dark, and I love that one a lot. Then there was, you know, Heaven's on Fire, which was like, you know, I don't know if Tommy really played a guitar solo on that. It was just, he was just kind of playing those riffs, and they were great riffs as well. But, you know, Heaven's on Fire, once again, it was catchy, it was fun, it was a lot of fun. And then, of course, there was I Love It Loud, which was, yeah, that was pretty alright. That was an alright one. Not absolutely amazing, but it was still pretty good. And, you know, at the end of the song, you know, Gene brought out the fire and he breathed fire, and yeah, I mean, that could absolutely not be missed. So, here's the clip. And then there was Say Yeah from Sonic Boom, which was, it was my least favorite song of the night. It was still pretty good, but, you know, I just thought, again, it was just okay. And, you know, as I said, I was standing on like the far right of the stage where Tommy usually stands. But a lot of times Paul came over to, you know, sing and, you know, do his moves in front of the crowd. But for that one song, for Say Yeah, Gene Simmons actually came over to the right side of the stage and, you know, did his usual, like, funny faces and everything. So, you know, that was alright, but it was my least favorite song of the set. But then there was Cold Gin, which, yeah, that was absolutely amazing. I really did love the instrumentation on that song, with Tommy once again just playing great guitar solos, and of course at the end of the song, Tommy played an unaccompanied guitar solo, which was lengthy. It was amazing. It sounded amazing. I mean, holy Christ, this guy is so underrated. He can freaking play. Yeah, so here's another clip. Though, I'm sorry, this video that you're about to see is vertical, so... but anyway, here's the guitar solo clip. And then they performed Lick It Up, complete with the bridge from The Who's Won't Get Fooled Again. I also really like the colors during the Won't Get Fooled Again bridge, but yeah, that was pretty cool. But then there was one of my gigantic favorites, Calling Dr. Love. Now, I'm really glad that the band is giving the Rock and Roll Over album some attention, but I'm also really happy that they're giving this particular song attention, because this is the one song from the album that has most stuck with me. I absolutely love this song, and the live performance was really great. But at the end of the song, Tommy and Paul launched into a guitar duel, which was, I really did not expect that guitar duel between them. It was epic, it was amazing, I absolutely loved it. And, like, you know, I looked over to Gene, and I'm not really sure if he looked at me, but, you know, I shrugged at Gene while smiling, and he made a gesture like, well, they want to continue this, not me. And then, after the guitar duel was over, Gene started to speak Hungarian. Now, you know, like I said, Gene was born to Jewish immigrants from Hungary, so Hungarian is one of his top 5 main languages. You know, there's English, there's Israeli, and then there's Hungarian, German, and a little bit of Japanese. And, you know, he spoke some Hungarian, you know, and he sang a song that the entire crowd sang along to, you know, az a szép, akinek a szemekkék. And he also asked the crowd if they knew another song that he sang. A few of them knew the song, but then G was like, you don't know that one? Okay, frick off, comedically. But, obviously he said the more intense version of the word frick, and then he said a bunch of Hungarian phrases that were basically like the word damn it, but without any swearing. And then, you know, that a whole thing was actually the outro to Calling Dr. Love, which was intense. Like, you know, there was the main song, which was basically the first half, and then the second half was just the guitar duel and Gene speaking Hungarian. I've been told that this was the exact same stuff that Gene said like 12 years ago when Kiss last appeared in Hungary. But still, I mean, that was nice of him, and yeah, the entire Calling Dr. Love performance, including the guitar duel, was absolutely amazing. I loved it. And then they launched into Tears Are Falling, another 80s hit, which was, once again, pretty fun. And then after they played a short 3-minute version of Psycho Circus, Eric Singer, of course, launched into a drum solo, which lasted for like 5 minutes, and, you know, he paused every now and then to, like, look at the camera and everything, and he acted like he was tired, you know, he had to grab a towel to, like, you know, dry his arms off and everything, but, you know, he plays the drums incredibly well. I don't think he's as great as Peter Criss or Eric Carr, but still, he is a very great drummer. And then, you know, the rest of the band came back to perform a very, very freaking short version of 100,000 Years, which is only, like, less than a minute long or something, and, you know, it was basically 100,000 Years was basically just the drum solo and the main riff played like once. So yeah, the main song was very short. It was basically just taken up by the drum solo, but still, I really was happy when they played the main riff because I really do love that song. So yeah, 100,000 Years and the drum solo was great. And then, of course, the concert turned into a horror movie when Gene did his bass solo. Now, it's very strange because when he does his bass solo, it's like when he plays bass, it really does sound like an electric guitar, and more importantly, it actually sounds like thunder. And then, of course, out came the blood from Gene's mouth and everything. You know, he spat the blood like usual. And then, of course, they launched into God of Thunder. I think it was like, I think Gene knew that he wanted his bass guitar to sound like, you know, thunder when he was playing it. So, you know, that was, you know, the bass solo, which was absolutely great. And then, of course, they launched into God of Thunder, which, you know, where Gene was raised up in the air, and that's where he sang the song. And then, of course, you know, I think the original God of Thunder is, yeah, it's a good song. But live, it was just amazing. It was dark, menacing, absolutely amazing. Once again, Tommy's solo was great, and yeah, that God of Thunder, once again, one of the highlights. And then, of course, Paul asked if he could join the crowd in their party, and while the band started to play Love Gun, Paul flew out to a little mini stage over our heads, you know, and Love Gun itself was pretty good. And then, of course, they had to play I Was Made for Loving You, which is, as you know, incredibly controversial among the fan base. But, you know, that's a guilty pleasure of mine. I do really like that song. But live, it was really good as well, you know, without all the people singing along. But I do think that, you know, that the performance was really good. Again, Tommy, amazing guitar solo, and, you know, I was continuously, like, I was, you know, shouting at Gene. Of course, he didn't hear me, but I was shouting at him like, I'm so sorry, Gene, because I know he hates playing the song. But still, I think it was a good performance. Again, I really liked the lights and the colors when it was played, and, you know, like, there was a disco ball at the top of the stage, so that was that was a weird addition. But still, Paul flew back to the stage at the end of the song, and yeah, that was that. And after that, Paul played like a sad guitar melody, and then played some hard, intense riffs, and then, you know, the band launched into Black Diamond with Eric Singer as, well, the singer. Of course, because, you know, the original Black Diamond was sung by drummer Peter Criss, so of course this one has to be sung by Eric, and yeah, Black Diamond was once again really great. I'm really glad that for this final tour, the ones that were, like, you know, selected from the debut album and or Kiss Alive were, like, some of my favorites. You know, Cold Gin, Deuce, 100,000 Years, Black Diamond, all those are favorites of mine from those albums. And yeah, as I said, Black Diamond was great, and that was the end of the main set list. And then, of course, people were already turning on their phone lights because, you know, they knew what was coming up. And then Eric Singer was raised from the bottom of the stage, playing the piano, and then, of course, he sang Beth All Alone, which was pretty nice. Again, a song that people are divided upon. But I thought it was nice the way he sang the song, and his piano playing is really nice as well. And then there was Do You Love Me, which was, again, really, really fun. And then all the Kiss balloons, the gigantic Kiss balloons, were dropped from the top of the arena. And, you know, a lot of people caught those balloons and brought them home. And then, of course, at the end of Do You Love Me, they launched into Rock and Roll All Night, the final song, of course. where there was not one but two confetti tornadoes. Like, seriously, I have never seen so much confetti in my life. And yeah, Rock and Roll All Night, it was fun, it was nice. And then, of course, there was the big long outro, which was nice as well. So, yeah. And then at the end, there was, the Kiss Loves You Budapest thing, which, they do for every city. So yeah, that's basically the end of the concert. It went on for 2 hours, and it was really nice. Oh yeah, and at the end, when there was the whole, Kiss Loves You Budapest sign, they played God Gave Rock and Roll to You Too over the PA system, so that was pretty nice. I guess there's only one more thing that I can talk about, and that is the performances. It was, as I said, Tommy Thayer was just the most underrated performer of the night. He played, as I said, guitar solo after guitar solo, and he was absolutely amazing at what he was doing. But, I went through this entire video without mentioning, the flaws of Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons, because the two have a lot of flaws. But musically, they're excellent, and thank God Paul Stanley was not lip syncing. If you Kiss fans have attended the Antwerp concert in Belgium, you will know what I mean. But the performances by them were great. Most of the time when Paul sang a song, he was like, he didn't sing the chorus. He left Gene, Tommy, and of course us, the crowd, to sing those choruses. And whenever Tommy played a guitar solo, Paul was like, putting his guitar up in the air and like gyrating his hips and what have you, doing all these moves to distract from Tommy's guitar solo. But I didn't care. I just wanted to listen to Tommy, and whenever I had the chance, I busted out my air guitar, trying to play those exact notes that he was playing on my air guitar, so to speak. And it was fun. It was really fun watching Tommy play his guitar. Although Paul was pretty nice playing his rhythm guitar as well, and Gene's bass playing was nice as well, and of course Eric was great at his drumming, and I think they all noticed me like in some kind of way during the show, especially Tommy, like I said, because I love the guy, I love his playing and everything. Tommy and Paul were also throwing a lot of guitar picks around. I wasn't close enough to catch one of them, but that was no problem at all. So yeah, that's it. Overall, this was probably the only time I will ever see Kiss. But for this one time, it was absolutely incredible. And this concert was supposed to happen 2 years ago, but then of course it was postponed to 2021 and then to this year. So yeah, it was like my most anticipated concert for like 2 years. And it finally happened, and yeah, it was basically everything that I expected it to be, but even better. It was just incredible. I absolutely loved it. I loved this concert. And if you can see Kiss, and you are a fan of Kiss, and if you are able to see them on this final tour, do it. It will just, they will rock you. They will definitely rock you. Even if you go in knowing what to expect. Like, I knew the usual set list and everything, but still, concert was absolutely incredible. I loved the instrumentation and everything, and it was just amazing. Like I said, I absolutely could not ask for more from this performance. It was incredible. But of course, that's all just my opinion. You can feel free to disagree with it. And if you have any opinions on Kiss, or if you ever seen them live and you want to explain to me why you love them or even don't like them, then just leave your opinions in the comments below. I am absolutely delighted to hear all of your opinions, even if you don't like them. I understand that. Obviously, Kiss are not for everyone. So hopefully my next video is going to be out soon. Let's hope I will see you soon. I'm Kev from Pest, and you just learned a bit more about music today.